After every single Jackson Hole Powell speech, the market has done always exactly the same. And this is once again playing out right now. And after such a bullish news came out here and the market reaction is quite weak, you already know what is going to be happening. And to quickly summarize it, Ethereum is not exhausted, but Bitcoin at this moment of time clearly looks exhausted and could be in for another correction. So on today's update video, obviously, I will be talking about the Bitcoin CME gap that is still trading above us. I'm going to be talking about this historical event that is now playing out here and how I am, of course, betting my trades on this exact event right now. I want to be talking about my Bitcoin trade. I want to be talking about my Ethereum trade. And obviously, I want to be talking about the seasonality that is going to come up here for September. Because historically, in a bull market, September has never been a great month for Ethereum, for Bitcoin, and I want to be, of course, break it down for you guys out there. I want to be talking about it completely open and, of course, give you my exact game plan for what I think is about to be happening next year. Because if I am looking at Bitcoin, I think we are right now exactly in this part of the cycle where, of course, Bitcoin is going to stagnate and altcoins are going to be exploding. And that is already getting started right now here. So on today's update video, I want to be breaking down the part of the cycle we're currently in. I want to be breaking down the fact that altcoins are most likely going to be absolutely incredible. I want to be talking about the fact that, of course, clearly we can see that we are already in phase 2 and the rotation towards phase 3/phase 4 is about to start because I clearly got the evidence for this reversal right here. So guys, a lot to talk about on today's update video. So don't forget to once again slap on that like button back above 1,000 likes. It will be highly appreciated. And of course, this video is once again purely alpha. I did a lot of research about the market right now here, and I want to be sharing it with you guys out there. So first of all, on the immediate short term, Bitcoin is creating a CME gap, and what I think about it, I think ultimately we're going to be filling up this gap here, either at the end of the weekend or either just a couple days after the weekend whenever we are going to see a major trap towards the downside. And of course, like I discussed on yesterday's video, I still have my order set up here on Bitcoin from 109 to about 111,000 US dollars. Last time around, I just missed out a couple dollars here on my entry. After such bullish news here, Bitcoin remains to be quite weak while Ethereum is very strong. It tells us something about what is going to be happening next year. And of course, more importantly, if we're just looking at the historical times of this event from the Powell speech here, always on the last 2 years, we've first seen a major bump, then a dump where we always created a lower low on the market, and only then we confirm the bottom before, of course, skyrocketing towards the upside. So something similar is once again for me expected, and that is why I think there is still a very big possibility Bitcoin is going to grab the liquidity on the lower side, since yes, there is a lot of liquidity still being built up below us. If we're looking at Bitcoin, you can see there's liquidity being built up above us around $120,000, but also around the 110,000 US dollar level. So there's liquidity still laying below us that potentially could be getting grabbed here. And of course, if we're just looking at the historical time frame, this could be a scenario that is very much on the play for now here. So this is what I'm expecting for Bitcoin. And of course, like I said in the intro, I don't think a similar faith is there for Ethereum, because Ethereum is very strong, and I'm gonna be doing my deep dive into Ethereum a little bit later in this video, so make sure to continue watching this video here, because of course, guys, if you want to be trading with big orders just like I am doing, because I am in this massive trade that is more than $800,000 profit on Ethereum, if you want to trade on a cheap exchange here where you're almost paying no fees here, check it out in the first link of today's video description, because if you sign up an account to WeX using that first link below, guys, you will get a 25% fee rebate. On top of that, you can get a free $100 coupon by, of course, binding your phone number and email if you sign up an account using that link below. And yeah, even on top of that, if you make some big deposits, you get very big bonuses also rewarded to your account here. So make sure to check it out in the first link in today's video description. But anyways, guys, let me continue further on in this video, because I do want to be pointing out the fact that, of course, I think that this Bitcoin bull market is eventually going to be ending by most likely somewhat of a recession, because now the Federal Reserve said clearly that they're expecting to cut rates here. And actually, if we look at the expectations, it's not even 100% certain we are going to get rate cuts for the next meeting. But that is what he said here, that he is willing to, of course, cut rates here in this last meeting. But of course, always if we're looking at this, and of course at the things he clearly stated, he is basically saying that the job market is weaker, the labor market is weaker. He said basically there's a risk in the job market. He's saying the labor market is getting weaker. He is saying that inflation could be running up again here. Guys, these are all things that clearly show signs of a potential recession. And of course, historically, the rates always go down just moments before a recession. Because why do you cut rates? Because the economy is weak. So this is, of course, something very easy to understand. But of course, most people don't see through this. And that is why, of course, I do want to be talking about it. So yeah, rate cuts are most likely going to come here very, very shortly. And of course, whenever this is going to come, we could potentially expect something to happen like this in the S&P 500. I mean, we're sitting at all-time highs here. So the risk is always, of course, a little bit higher from off such kind of a point here. So ultimately, I am not saying we're going to crash tomorrow. No, that is not what I'm saying. Most people don't understand me correctly like this. But I do think eventually a Bitcoin correction is obviously going to come, and you want to be prepared for that here. But like I said also in the intro of the video, I don't think the correction for Bitcoin should be coming right now here. And especially for the altcoin market, because what I currently clearly believe in, and this is of course what I stated so many times, I've talked about of course the beginning of altcoin season so many times on the channel. And yes, we are right now in that beginning stage of that altcoin season, right? We have this major downward sloping trend line here on the Bitcoin dominance chart. We've seen the rejection, and of course a big red candle is most likely going to come, and that is of course going to be probably mark the end point of the altcoin season, because it's not going to be lasting for so long. I'm expecting it's only going to be lasting for 6-7 weeks here, and it goes by very, very quickly. So if you want to be making money in crypto, this is truly the time to pay most of your attention. And what is very important, we can clearly see what part of the cycle we're in. Of course, Bitcoin is sitting at all-time highs here. If we're looking at the 4-year cycle, we are about like 2 months out before Bitcoin is going to be topping out. We can see that Ethereum is heavily outperforming Bitcoin in the last quarter. And of course, this shows you that we're clearly in phase 2. But when is phase 3 going to get started? And that is where this chart comes in here. Because this chart shows us how altcoins compared to Ethereum are oversold. And now, this is the moment they are very oversold. And you see from off this point is where, of course, the other pairs against Ethereum are going to be outperforming Ethereum. So Ethereum has been very strong, like you can see on this chart, but this is going to be ending, and this chart is going to be reverting. So guys, this is truly another signal that we're right now transitioning to phase 3/4. And this is, of course, where the smaller altcoins like Arbitrum, also a trade I have open, are going to be doing much, much better. That is this part of the cycle we are right now entering. So super excited for that. Then also I want to be talking about what Bitcoin is most likely going to be doing here. I don't think Bitcoin is going to be showing us fireworks in this cycle anymore here, because just like last time around here, we basically consolidated at those highs. We created a rounding top structure, but that was of course the point where altcoins went absolutely bananas. So something similar is once again expected. Bitcoin is going to be quite boring, and of course this is where altcoins shine here, and we can already start to see it happening with Ethereum. Of course, Bitcoin remains to be boring, consolidating in its range, but Ethereum is seeing the big continuation higher. It is starting to see that breakout against the ETH compared to Bitcoin pair. So this is truly the time where altcoins are most likely going to shine. So that's a nice sentence. But guys, yeah, this is truly what is currently happening, and honestly, I am expecting Bitcoin is still going to see a slightly continuation higher, because ultimately I think we're going to go to $130,000 to see somewhere the top getting created over there. But yeah, I still think we're going to get a slight little correction before ultimately moving higher. Maybe first we go towards the upside before seeing that here. But this is still the trade I am currently taking, and I'm going to be holding my Ethereum trade open, because I think Ethereum is also going to be moving higher from this point, because it's very bad to bet against Ethereum at this part of the cycle, right? So I am still betting quite heavily on this here. And guys, we also shared some insane trades here in the VIP group we have here. Guys, it's a group that you can join as well here in the general chat. We're talking with each other, sharing setups, etc., etc. But also one of the setups we shared recently from Ethereum. Perfect entry. And guys, most of the traders in this group, like you can see on the profit chart, everyone is insanely printing. This is only from yesterday. It's insane. So guys, make sure to join it. It is very easy to join here. It's the second link in today's video description. So make sure to go to that link and join the private Telegram group, where we are sharing setups, where we are talking about the market, where we're debating with each other what is of course going to be happening next year. And of course, We have 5 professional traders also in it. And of course, everyone is sharing different opinions of the market. And we're just seeing, okay, what is the best one I should be taking? So it's very good for your development if you want to be learning trading. So check it out in the second link in today's video description. Further on, yeah, Bitcoin dominance is obviously looking very good for the market. And what is an interesting fact here is that Ethereum is at all-time highs, but the gas fees are at all-time lows here. And this is, of course, due to years of developments. And this once again shows you that nothing is going to be holding back Ethereum this cycle. And that is, of course, quite excited if you are asking me here. So there's been so much development in the bear market. So much has been built here. And that is why it's going to be running so much higher towards the upside here. And honestly, my take profit for my trades here is $6,500. And if it goes there, I will be making about $2 million. So yeah, this is my price target for my Ethereum trade here, and that is where I will be going fully out of my positions, because then I think the risk is going to be most certainly a little bit higher for ETH here. But guys, anyways, this was it for me in today's update video. If you did enjoy it, learn something from this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, slap on that like button, and see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.